everyone, and welcome to another episode of me driving to work. I am your host slash chauffeur, trying not to get hit by a bus. Darkness 30XX, that's me, of the Black Hood crew. That's the BHC in the front. By all means, follow along at the channels on YouTube and Facebook under Black Hood Crew. Find me under the name there in the corner. Everywhere else, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. Find me on Instagram as well. And we're going. So, like I said yesterday, I was hoping for a much better day compared to the day before. And it was. It was slightly better. Still as busy, but the quality of the people that came in fared a little bit better. Hopefully, we'll roll the dice for today and see what we get. And if these people will move out of the way, can get going. Don't you just hate it when you're sitting there at a green light and the people in front of you are just, I don't know, I would assume doing everything but driving. Like literally anything else besides driving. There's a lot of tree branches. Someone has a pile, an absolute giant pile of branches and leaves and stuff, cut from probably the tree in their own yard. Come on, I'm not gonna run you over. Let's go. It's not how this works. Sometimes it's okay to just be kind guy. Just let people cross. It's quite all right. You know, you don't necessarily have to be in a hurry everywhere you go. Perfectly all right to just, you know, take your time, especially if you leave like I do with more than enough time to get to where you're going. In this case, work, hence the name. Yeah, I don't know why people are going to be in such a hurry all the time. And not just with, travel or anything like that. Like, just in life in general. It's not worth it to just try and blow through life. You know what I mean? Like, relax, take it one day at a time. Don't stress yourself. Don't stress yourself out too much. Get the words out there. Because you're gonna put yourself in an early grave if you stress too much, man. That stress, you carry it with you. It's not just a mental thing, but it becomes a physical thing as well. Like you carry it in yourself. Eventually, organs start to go bad sooner. Your heart starts to give out. You can't breathe. You just ache all the time. Come on, folks. Let's go. Let's go before the bus starts moving. Thank you. Yeah, life is short enough as it is. The last thing you need to do is accelerate it by stressing out over stuff, especially stuff you can't control. Like, relax. Like, perfect example. I'm driving to work. Duh. And if somebody crashed their car along my route to work, and that's backing up traffic, it's not going to matter how angry I get, how much thought I put into it. It's still not going to change the fact I'm stuck in traffic due to something I could not control. The only thing I can control is when I leave for work, make sure my car is properly functioning, has gas, oil change, proper tires, brakes, all that good stuff. Regular maintenance on the car, things I can control that would influence how sooner or later I'd be getting to work. But like anything else in life, there's stuff you can't control. People having accidents on your normal route to work. Maybe a broken street light, flashing yellow or red depending on which direction it is. You gotta maybe take a little bit longer, be a little bit more cautious than when it is working, when you gotta go straight or turn. So yeah, there's things in life you can't control, and one thing you can't do is stress over those things. Don't stress over things you can't control or that are so far outside of your control that it's borderline ridiculous. It's perfectly okay to just relax, take each day as it comes along, each moment as it comes along. Now, I'm not saying don't, have this whole laissez-faire type thing to life where you just, you have nothing planned, you have nothing going for yourself. Like, no, have plans, try to make attempts to take control where you can, but at the same time, allow yourself the chance to say, hey, let me prepare, plan ahead for things that I cannot control. Like in this case, my trips to work. As you've heard me say before, with no traffic, and even with getting traffic stops and traffic lights, it takes me about 15 minutes to get from my house to work. But if you look at the time, I give myself an extra 15 to 20 minutes from the point that I'm in my car and backing out of my driveway to when I'm getting to work. Reason being, trying to get ahead of those things you can't control, those events, those whatever you want to call it, that eventually happen in life. So anything you can do to better prepare yourself and accommodate for those changes, you'll find yourself less stressed. Like me, I don't stress out about many things. Most importantly, things I cannot control. Don't stress over it. Because at the end of the day, I can't control it. It wasn't my fault that, say, a person had an accident on on my route to work. It's not my fault that a street light is not functioning. It's not my fault that there's traffic ahead of me. Things I cannot control. What I do stress over is the things I can control and still go wrong. Look, maintenance on my car, leaving at a proper time. Things I can control. And even then, I still give myself, say, a plan B when it comes to those situations. Simply because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't. So what I do is I plan as best I can for what can happen. For the run of the mill, the common stuff that can occur. Like again, driving to work, common things that would, delay your trip would be accidents, things you can't control. Extra traffic due to some idiot driving like a fool, but not necessarily causing an accident, but just being slow in general. You can't control that. Lights being out, can't control that. Rubberneckers, people who just have to slow down and look at what's going on, even if it's just the police pulling over somebody on a side of the road and issuing them a ticket. They always got to slow down and they always got to look, which in itself is dangerous to begin with. I don't bother to do that. Like, I get all the way away from the accident scene or wherever these officers are, and I make every attempt to not be caught up in that mess. Because again, it is dangerous to rubberneck. Don't do it. Um, yeah, just don't stress what you cannot control. Stress what you can, and even then, plan appropriately. That's it. That's all you got to do. Plan appropriately, and things will work out. They will, really. And it may not come out exactly as you may have hoped, but it'll be close enough where you can say, you know what, I can live with this. I can live with the results of this. And that's really how a secret to life is. There are many, but don't stress. You're only going to put yourself in an early grave, needlessly, might I add, because it's just not worth it. Someone else's actions, unless they directly affect you, and they were done consciously, not subconsciously, not unconsciously, but you know, don't stress it. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the effort. It's not worth the pain of dealing with people and their stuff. Not worth it at all. Instead, relax. Finding a hobby. That's a good thing that a lot of people should have. Personally, as anybody that watches this channel knows, I play video games. That's my hobby. I enjoy my games. They calm me. They relax me. They entertain me. All good things, which are all things a hobby should do. Some people, um, they collect stuff, whether it's, coins or rocks, minerals, things of that nature. They might collect something, like bugs or, do bird watching. That's a good one too. People like to watch birds. Some people exercise. Some people, cook. Some people, you know, do physical activities outside of simply working out. Things like, like skydiving. Get the words out. Skydiving. They have hobbies, things that they enjoy, that brings them peace, that brings them a sense of relaxation, that everyday life cannot afford them. That's what a hobby's supposed to be. And I'm a big proponent of people having hobbies because your life cannot solely revolve around work, your family, your spouse, your kids. You got to have something outside of those things. Now, if you have a hobby jointly with, say, your spouse or your kids that's good. That's good. Because again, it's nice to have a hobby, but it's even nicer to be able to share a hobby with someone with similar interests. Say it be a spouse or your own children or friends or other family members. It could be aunts, uncles, cousins, brother, sister, mom, dad, doesn't matter. Having a hobby is super important to lead a stress-free life. Super, super important because you got to find something that you enjoy to do, something that does not add to your stress simply by doing it. Like again, we'll go back to some of the more physical activities. People who work out, do yoga, these are physically demanding activities in most cases. And for some people, that's how they relax. That's how they clear their mind. That's how they They de-stress from the day. That's how they, you know, find something to do outside of the regular responsibilities of day-to-day activities. Perfectly okay. Nothing wrong with it. Other people tend to do stuff on the more, dangerous, even illegal side. People take recreational drugs. Some people drink, smoke, stuff that might actually kill you. But you know what? At the end of the day, if it helps them relax and not stress, and also very importantly, it's not hurting someone else, you know? Like if your hobby is literally hurting somebody else, whether it's secondhand smoke, the actions that you take when you're high or drunk, then yeah, I would say find a new hobby. That's become too dangerous and starting to cross lines it doesn't need to. But I would definitely say find a hobby, find something to do, something that is way outside your normal responsibilities. Like let's say you're a doctor, right? You wouldn't want to find a hobby that reminds you of work. You wouldn't want to find a hobby that has you frequenting places like hospitals, clinics, and stuff like that. Instead, you will want to find something like, you know, a sport of some sort. A lot of doctors, a lot of people in, high positions, usually within the medical field, play golf. Perfectly fine. That's a good pastime to have. It's very relaxing, very quiet. There's not people cheering or yelling or anything like that because of the nature of the sport. You know, that's a good one to have. Some people play basketball. That is also a physically demanding sport that you can use to relax. Hit a half court or get a game of 2-on-2, 3-on-3, what have you. Some people play other things, ping pong. Some people play with yo-yos. Like there's people out there with hobbies that you wouldn't even dream of, but they do it because they enjoy it. They do it because it helps them relax. They do it to de-stress. Now, can some people take those hobbies and turn them into something greater? Of course. Many people, like what I'm doing here, this live stream thing, many people started it out just like I am, as a hobby, just doing it for no particular reason other than self-entertainment. Maybe the opportunity to entertain someone else. Whether it's 1, 2, 10, 15 people, 100 people sometimes, look at the people that are on TikTok. Some of the more well-known um, content creators on there, they have followers in the hundreds of thousands, even millions in some cases. That's probably not what they thought they were going to do with themselves, but a hobby turned into a career. And that's perfectly fine because now you're in a position to enjoy what you do more than what you were doing before. And isn't that really what the goal is for somebody who is employed? To enjoy what you do, to go to work, but have it feel like you're not punching a clock. You're just going because you're enjoying what you do, and it just so happens to be the way you make money. So why would that not be a good thing? There are plenty of people, you see them on YouTube and Twitch, that's how they make their money. They do this. Maybe not how I'm doing it from behind the wheel of a car, but, they do it from home, which, not for nothing, in this day and age with everything that's going on, would be a much safer bet than actually leaving to go to work like I am. But that's besides the point. At least that's an opportunity that they decided to roll with and ended up becoming a successful path for them. But again, it started out as a hobby, something to do, something to entertain yourself, potentially entertain others, and just have a good time doing it and not be stressed while doing it. Like even me right now, I'm driving to work. I'm behind the wheel of the car. Like this isn't a play or anything like that. I'm seriously driving on the way to work. You can kind of see it here through the window, background passing by. But I am seriously driving to work. But because I'm here driving and doing this, I'm not stressed out. I'm not bothered by things on the road. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to out fools that are in front of me, but I don't stress over it. I don't lose my mind over it. I am calm. I am relaxed. I'm still focused on the task at hand, which is getting to work safely, which is, what all of us tend to do on a daily basis, especially when we get behind cars, just get to our destination safely. That's it. And that's what I'm doing. But I'm doing it in a relaxed fashion because I'm taking my hobby, bringing it with me on my way to work. Now, will this allow me to become something bigger in the world of streaming? Maybe, maybe not. But not something I'm stressing about because this is more of a hobby at this point. Since I have a more traditional job, I would say, man, this 18-wheeler literally blocked 3 lanes of traffic right over us, right over a railroad crossing. But you see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So if I wasn't here talking to you guys, I'd probably be like, what the is this guy doing? But no, I just point out the idiocy of it. And I'm more relaxed about it. Besides, I'm still literally 5 minutes from work, and I still have another 13 minutes before my shift starts. So, yeah, I made good time. I did it in a stress-free way, relaxed way. And at the same time, I get to carry on a conversation with people who may or may not be there, even though I can see that there is somebody here. But whether they chime in or not, it's perfectly fine. Because, again, this is not a career I'm trying to put forward. This is simply just a hobby I do that could become something if it becomes something. If not, it's fine. But at the same time, the opportunity is there. If I get more followers, more likes, more subscribers, you never know. I could be doing this mess from home and be perfectly fine with it. I enjoy being home. So if I can work from home, better for me. And if I can do it by entertaining other people, such as everyone out there, why not? Why not? I enjoy having conversations with people, especially people who are like-minded, simply because there's too much conflict in the world today, especially with people of conflicting ideologies, conflicting, political stances, or conflicting stances on various issues. People would rather fight each other over a stance instead of just, trying to understand the other side. You know what I mean? The other side of that is when you got people who just refuse to understand the other side. But that's a whole different issue. For now, it's just about entertaining the masses, staying relaxed, getting to work safely, and that's it. That's really it. Living a stress-free life, whether it's um, doing what I do for work, streaming online, or for anybody else out there who's who has a stress or a more stressed life or stressed employment. Get yourself a hobby. Find something you enjoy to do outside of the scope of work, outside of the scope of, excuse me, outside of the scope of your regular everyday responsibilities, and try to live that stress-free life, because in reality, it's just going to extend your life. It's going to make you healthier. You're going to be in a better mood. You're going to be enjoying your time here in life more when you're stress-free. Switching my glasses here. You can see again. Yeah, it's perfectly all right depending on what, how over the top or dangerous your hobby is, but find the hobby. Some people like to sew. That's great. Some people paint. That's a beautiful one. Some people prefer, pencil to paper as opposed to brush to canvas. That's fine as well. You want to get your artistic side out? Do it. Some people do it by spray painting, tagging here and there. Maybe defacing property in some cases, but if it's sanctioned or there are areas specifically made for this purpose, go ham. Do what you got to do. Enjoy your life. Because Lord knows with everything that's going on, it's short. So whatever you can do to live a more stress-free life, do it. Because at the end of the day, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, what's really the harm in that, So obviously you can see I've arrived. Seatbelt is off. Work glasses are on. So we'll go ahead and continue this at home later in the week, Thursday, Friday, maybe even Saturday. We'll get some streams going. Check me out on the channel. Again, name down there, BHC_Darkness30XX. That's this guy right here. Check me out on the channels, YouTube and Facebook under the Black Hood Crew. Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, named there in the corner. By all means, follow along. Chime in, let me know what's going on, and we'll go, and I'll see you guys when you come in. So by all means, until the next time, be excellent to each other. Have a great day.